What small thing makes you automatically distrust someone? They constantly talk shit about others but all the stories ask you to their favor. I watch my mouth around people like that and try to only say things I don't mind getting out. Our local librarian will talk about anyone, good or bad. Usually she tries to act like everyone already knows and believes what she's saying. So she just has to hint and raise her eyebrows. And she remembers basically everything you've ever told her. So I too try to give her as little as possible outside of what I'm fine with everyone knowing. Edit. It's a small town. So she has legit known me for 20 years. I don't think I'd be able to feed her lies and I don't want her to call me out on it in 10 years. It seems to me that a lot of the gossip is either 20 years outdated or stuff about people who work for the town/MD/etc. that the other people in those fields also know or talk about. When they flat out ignore what you say to talk about themselves. I don't trust you. I know you're only there for your own benefit and fuck anyone else around you. I knew a guy like this. He loved the sound of his own voice. He'd always steer the conversation to what he wanted to talk about and was always eager to share his opinion. If you said anything, though, he'd just kind of pause, mumble out a little, yeah, and then go right back on talking again. Edit. For those of y'all who are aware of this problem and are struggling with it, try to acknowledge when someone has said something and give them a chance to speak too. Don't just passively listen either. Be sure to ask questions. More often than not, once they've said their piece, they'll go back to letting you ramble on. People who can't keep something to themselves and talk about another person's private matters. I'm very private about myself, as trust takes years to build up but seconds to shatter. When they tell you all their exes are crazy, edit, proceeds to get flooded by people saying their exes are crazy, or that they're all evil, and that you have to fight them to be with her. If they burst into coins when vanquished, you could make a nice profit on the side. $2.40 isn't even enough for the bus home. It's okay, maybe they'll lend you the 35 cents. When someone borrows something and never attempts to return or mention it until you bring it up. Yeah, like money. I shouldn't have to ask for my money back. Wow, this is my highest voted reply. Thank you all. I delete my text messages right away sometimes. I have no record saying that I'll pay you. It's said so often I'm not worried about giving it away. Mistreating service people, children, less intelligent people and animals. Also the presumption that everyone around them is less intelligent. In their mind anyone in a service role is less intelligent. Oh god, this reminded me of a story I read on a website called Not Always Right about horrible customers. This guy was working in a deli to put himself through college. And winds up in conversation with this apparently sweet old lady. Everything is fine until he mentions that he's going to university for such and such a degree. He suddenly loses it and berates him for trying to overstep his god-assigned place as a servant to the more important people like herself. Shudders. They told me not to tell anyone, but never will trust someone like that. If they tell me other people's secrets, they'll no doubt tell other people mine. This isn't super accurate though, I get your point. Someone once told me not to tell anyone they were a child molester, so yeah, I didn't listen to that. When they judge others for the very things they are guilty of themselves. I mean, I get that it's difficult to see your own faults sometimes, but it's pretty comical when the pot calls the kettle black. I know someone who always complains about people being arrogant and rude to her, but she doesn't realize that everyone feels like they are walking on eggshells around her because of how unnecessarily rude she can be over anything you say. When she complains about how mean everyone is at work and how difficult her job is, I can't help but wonder how much of it is self-inflicted because of her own personality and the way she responds to them. I don't trust physicians who never say, I don't know. The most dangerous physicians are the ones who make a bad call and then defend it with all their might. Those who answer a question incorrectly with supreme confidence. If a doc occasionally says, I don't know, let's look it up, then I know I can trust her/him. When they put a lot of energy into manipulating people instead of just living their lives. Also, many have pointed out that what I'm describing is not a small thing overall. That's true. However, what I'm talking about is the small subtle efforts these people make throughout the day. That's what came to mind for me when considering the question. When they manipulate people in general. One better syndrome, where no matter what your experience, your history, your anecdotes is better, worse, funnier. When I was younger we called them the one-upper. Well, when I was even younger than you I called them one-uppers, before you ever did. If I can't sleep around them, must be an enemy. Another red flag is if you can't fast travel around them and before you meet them there is a vendor with HP potions and a save point. Guy lives in a giant room. Be wary, especially if said giant room has a long hallway leading up to it and a small room just to the side before the big door. That soundtrack change was suspicious as well. When they state something you know to be false as fact, edit, as discussed below. It's more of a problem if they don't accept correction when presented with better information, unless they plead ignorance and agree with you. True that. I'm having some people over this weekend. I'm gonna have drinks and some food. You should come by. Weekend comes. Thanks for coming everyone. So today I'd like to talk about an amazing business opportunity. Hell nap to the nap. People actually do this. My boss did this to me and my wife once. Went over thinking it was gonna be a regular boring dinner party, but his wife wanted us to donate a few thousands into her candle company. Turned to shit when they started arguing about their relationship and got the cops called over. Worst dinner I ever had FMH. Not respecting my decision when I say no to something small. Thank you for letting me know you don't respect boundaries. Are you sure you won't have a pomegranate? No pomegranate. You own pomegranate. Repeatedly not following through. Small things too. Hey, I'll talk to you later this afternoon. Nothing. I'll listen to this great song. I'll send it to you. Nothing. I just feel like those little moments are foreshadowing bigger things / disappointments to come. Yeah, I feel yap. Whenever my girlfriend recommends a song, I listen to it, even if it's by a band I don't listen to. But whenever I return the favor, she never does. It hurts. OP. Seriously does. Someone who constantly interrupts, or someone who talks too much and then visibly turns off when it's not their turn to talk. I work with someone who does this. She will flat out walk away if you're talking, even though you didn't listen to her rattle on about it and then repeat herself later because you didn't have the desired reaction the first time. She reminds me of my child. She's 53. When they give non-apologies after doing something wrong, like, I'm sorry to see you feel that way, instead of, I'm sorry for what I did, or, that's just the way I am, or, why do you care so much, or, it's not a big deal. I'm sorry to see you feel that way, instead of, I'm sorry for what I did. I have to say it, but sometimes apologies aren't warranted, and if someone fucks me over or does something that pisses me off and expects an apology, they can jump in a wood chipper. When they don't turn down the music in the car so they can see better when parking. Clearly a psychopath. I turned down the music while getting a ticket from the machine while entering a parking lot. One time I had a friend with me and he asked me why I turned my music down to do that. I do it because you need to roll the window down to get your ticket out of the machine. There are many people walking past, coming to and from their cars. They might not want to hear my music. I just think it is polite to turn it down. Any interviewer that brags about the family atmosphere at work or puts too much emphasis on the culture. We work really hard but we are like family, so it's totally okay if we take advantage of you. I left a job after our manager put a sniddy post on FB saying how we are a big family and he's social and better than other stores of the same company in the area. So we shouldn't complain about things to management because we wouldn't want to work at the other stores, right? This is a day after I found out my bonus had been cut for several months. Mate, if I worked at the other stores I'd have double the hours and a much larger bonus. Don't throw family in my face. They don't use blinkers. When your mistress sends a secret video of your sexual encounter to your wife, totally lost my trust at that point. When they talk mad shit about everyone around them to you, and since it's all nonsense you just let it go in one ear and out the other. But the moment you vent a frustration they ruin and tell everyone this exaggerated story which makes you look awful and the whole time you know they're the fire starter but you can't say anything without looking petty. And that's how I quit my job. You'll have fun with that. If they are female, and say that they don't have any female friends, usually because women Cause drama. This gives me caution because, while you aren't gonna get along with every woman, if you don't have any female friends at all you might be causing the drama. But someone that actually became my good friend said this once. We became her first female friends. I find that people who announce that they don't want drama are generally people who cause drama. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain won't stop. New game. Hot box that blue haze. One lock, 2 chains. No bras, 2 babes. Mic drop. New stage. Lights in my rear view. 5 cops. Full race. Faster than a Tesla. They say I'm exhausted. Looking for success. Like I'm crazy and lost it. Higher than a jet. Guess my weed is a rocket. The comments that my vids get are.